pain, 20 minutes, so enjoy this class. So let's begin in our child's pose where we finished the last class. Big toes touch, your knees can be spread wide. And again, if you need a blanket behind your knees, if that helps you feel supported, then go ahead and do that. And let's reach our arms straight out in front of us, forehead maybe rests on the floor. If it doesn't rest there, that's fine as well. And come back to your breath. And as you inhale, feel your rib cage expand side to side, front to back. Imagine that as you inhale, you're filling up a balloon in your ribs. And as you exhale, letting all that air out of the balloon. Finding 2 more deep breaths. On your next inhale, let's walk both arms over to your left, and then shifting your right hip and right shoulder, your rib cage towards the right. And breathing into this right side. On your next inhale, walk your hands back to center. Give yourself a deep exhale. Inhale as you walk your hands to the right. Shift your ribs and your hips towards the left. And again, giving yourself some deep breath. I breathe in. I breathe out. And then on the next inhale, walking your hands back to center and give yourself a deep exhale. On your next inhale, we're going to shift ourselves forward to a kneeling plank. So knees in line with your hips. Let's spread our fingers wide, sliding your shoulders away from your ears, and pull your belly up towards the spine. And imagine that you have a broomstick from your tailbone to the back of your head, and you want to keep that space on the broomstick. And we're going to flow here. So we're going to inhale, and then exhale, shift your hips back to a child's pose. Inhaling forward to a kneeling plank. Exhale to child's pose. Inhale, forward kneeling plank. Exhale, child's pose. One more. Now inhale forward to your kneeling plank. Look at your elbows. So I want your elbows to look behind you at your knees. Again, soften the shoulders, pull the belly in, and then bend your elbows. This is our modified chaturanga. And then drop yourself to the floor. Lift your shoulders up, back, and down, lifting your chest, lengthening the spine, reaching the crown of your head forward. Push the tops of your feet into the mat. And then push into your palms as you slide yourself back to a child's pose. And we're going to flow here. So now I want you to roll yourself up onto your shins, high knees, arms overhead. Bend to your left. Inhale, center. Bend to the right. Inhale, center. Take your arms alongside your body and then making your way to your kneeling plank. We inhale as we hold our kneeling plank. We exhale and lower ourselves halfway down. Inhaling to your baby cobra, lift your chest, lengthen the spine, and exhale back to a child's pose. Inhale, lifting yourself up, arms overhead. Exhale, bend to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend to the right. Inhale, center. And then exhale, make your way to your kneeling plank. Inhale, exhale, lower halfway. Inhale to your baby cobra. And exhale back to your child's pose. child's pose, 3 breaths. Okay, let's shift ourselves back to our kneeling plank. So you can stay in your kneeling plank or you can come to a full plank. Pull the belly in, again, up towards your spine, soften your shoulders, push the heels back, engage your thighs, crown of your head reaching forward. Give yourself an inhale. As you exhale, push yourself to down dog. Now don't worry about your heels touching the floor. They can be up high, depends on your calves and your hamstrings, how tight they are. Hug your upper arm bones in towards your ears, and I want you to spread your fingers wide. Push the meaty part of your thumb and your index finger into the mat. And let's pedal your heels, walking your dog. If a child's pose feels better for you today, then come back to your child's pose. Two more times, jogging our legs. Well, let's look between our hands, and I want you to tippy-toe your feet up to your hands, and then find your halfway lift. Palms to your shins, reach your crown of your head forward, pull the abdominals up, and then exhale back to a forward fold. Bend your knees, reach your arms wide overhead, and exhale as you draw your hands to your heart center. Let's inhale, reach our arms overhead. And then we exhale, circle our arms behind you, make your way to your chair. So I want you to make sure that your knees are in line with your second and third toes. Soften the front of your ribs back. Pull the belly in, soften the shoulders. Inhale, exhaling forward fold. Always make sure you soften your knees if this feels like you're pulling in the hamstrings or the back. And let's use our abdominals to roll ourselves up one vertebrae at a time. Inhale your arms overhead. Exhale as you bend to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale as you bend to the right. Inhale, center. Circle your arms behind you. Make your way back to your chair. So maybe you're up in a high chair. Maybe you can be in your low chair. Whatever works for you. Take an inhale. Exhale back to your forward fold. Let's step our right foot behind us, making our way to a low lunge. So option here, you can drop your knee. You can keep the knee lifted. Your choice. Frame your left foot with both hands, or maybe you need blocks to help lift yourself up. 2 more breaths. Let's walk up to our left knee, and then come back to about 90 degrees on this back leg. And then I want you to pull your pelvis, your tailbone, forward towards the front of your mat as you shift your hip forward, so that we now are at an angle in this back leg to stretch this right hip flexor muscle. Reach your arms overhead. Draw your pinky fingers towards each other. Find some deep breath. Take an inhale. Exhale, release your hands to the mat. So your right hand's going to stay under your shoulder, and take your left hand to your left outer thigh. And then twist your left side of your ribs under your left arm pit. Twist that towards the ceiling. Maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you can take your left arm up off your leg. You want to make sure this low back isn't doing the twisting. We're twisting from the ribs. The low back is going to obviously move a little bit, but we don't want it to pull. 2 more breaths. Release your left hand, and then step the right foot forward to meet the left. Find your halfway lift. Palms to your shins, lengthening the spine. Pull the belly up towards your back. Exhale, forward fold. Reversing your swan dive. Reach arms overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Let's inhale and reach up. Exhale, bend to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend to your right. Inhaling center. Exhale, circle your arms, find in chair pose. Inhale, hold. Exhale, forward fold. Let's step our left leg back. An option to drop your left knee or leave your left knee off the mat. Frame your right foot with both hands. Look forward. Come to your breath. Okay, let's walk up to our right thigh, and I want you to pull your pelvis forward and then sink your hips. Reach arms overhead. Draw your pinky fingers towards each other. And again, your knee can still be off the mat. 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Left hand stays. Inhale. Exhaling, twist right arm up. Inhale, exhale, fold, right hand releases. And then let's step our right foot to meet the left in our plank pose. Maybe we want to be in a kneeling plank, that's fine. Inhale, exhale, child's pose or down dog. Breath. Two more deep breaths. And then look between your hands, tippy-toe your feet to the front of your mat. Come to your halfway lift, lengthen the spine, palms to your shins or your back. Again, wherever you can find a nice elongated spine. Exhale, fold. Reverse your swan dive. Exhale as you draw your hands to your heart center. Let's start to face the long side of our mat, or come to face, and then step your legs wide. Turn your toes to look at the outside edge of the mat. Sometimes we're super close here, and that's almost a little bit harder. So let's take our arms shoulder height, and imagine that you have a string wrapped around your wrist, and it's going to land at your ankles. Good. And let's take our hands to our heart center, and then bend your knees into your goddess pose. Sometimes when you have a sore back, it's a nice way to kind of pick stuff up off the floor. So making sure, let's look at our knees, that you can see your big toes. So pull the knees backwards, lengthen the spine as if you're up against a wall, and breathe here. I love to mobilize my feet in this pose. So if you want to come along, lift your right heel, and then lower. Lifting left heel, and lower. Lift right heel, and lower, and left heel, and lower. Couple more times. Last set. Good. Sink a little bit deeper, and then let's straighten the legs. Good. Turn your right foot parallel to the back of your mat, and your left toes look at the front of your mat. Bend your front knee. Try to keep your hips looking forward. Engage the back leg, and then check in with your front foot. Can you see your big toe? Take your arms shoulder height. It's our warrior 2. And then straighten your front knee. Shift and reach forward out of your waist. Lower your left arm to your left leg, gently resting, right arm to the sky. Lift your left kneecap to engage your thigh. Soften that left knee. Deep breath. So our transverse abdominis, this, again, girdle-like waist or muscle that wraps around our waist, helps stabilize us here in our triangle. So triangle is great for back strength. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Taking hands to your hips, turn left foot parallel to your right. Turn your right toes to the short side of your mat, bending your front knee. Back to your warrior 2, arms shoulder height. Deepen your breath. Your next inhale, straighten the front knee. Shift and reach forward. Lower right arm to right leg, left arm to the sky. And again, engage this front leg. And this right hand can just gently be resting. Maybe it's on a block. Use your breath to help you hold yourself here. 2 more breaths. Inhale back to warrior 2. Now let's come back to our goddess pose. Hands to our heart. Toes look at the outside edge of the mat. Straighten the knees for now. And then let's imagine that we're sliding down a wall. And then we're going to straighten our legs and then sliding down the wall. 3 more. Last one. And then hold. Let's take our hands to our thighs. And then pull your thighs back. And then drop your right shoulder towards your left leg. Inhale, center. Exhale, draw left shoulder towards right thigh. Inhale, center. Exhale, right shoulder towards left thigh. Inhaling, center. Exhale, left shoulder towards right thigh. Give yourself a couple more. Inhale back to center. Straighten the legs. Let's massage our hips. So toes look at each other and then walk your heels towards each other. And let's come to the backs of your mat. Take a deep inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, bend to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, swan dive to your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees so you meet the floor and walk yourself to all fours. All right, let's find another cat-cow. So round your back, drop the front of your head towards the floor. Inhale to your cow. Lower your belly, eyes and heart plans forward. Sit bones reach back. Exhale to your cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale, rounding to cat. And then shift yourself back to a child's pose. And let's thread the needle. So making your way back to all fours. Left hand on the mat, reach your right arm up to the ceiling as you inhale, and then exhale, thread this right arm under your left. And we're going to flow here. Inhale, twist through the ribs, right arm reaches up, keep the pelvis steady, and then thread the needle, right arm under your left. So we shouldn't feel any pain in our low back. If you do, then not taking this as far. So maybe your twist just isn't as deep. Last one. And let's make our way back to all fours and switch to the opposite side. Left arm reaches up as you inhale. Exhale, thread your left arm under your right. Inhale, twist. Exhale, thread your left arm under your right. Two more. And then drop your left hand and let's push back to a child's pose. You're finding 3 more deep breaths. walk your hands to your knees, slowly roll yourself up. Great, and that's your second 20-minute yoga for your back with a little bit more movement and a little bit more of our warrior poses. So I hope you enjoyed it, and thank